Hello guys, welcome to our channel. This is the Agents with Sheriff. So at Agents with Sheriff we talk about AI agents and AI purely. There is no BS here. So today we wanted to talk about vibe coding. I know most of you have heard online people talking about vibe coding. What's vibe coding? Like what the fuck is vibe coding? So today we wanted to talk about vibe coding. So what we'll cover today is what is vibe coding, and overall the concepts, the core concept explained simply, what's vibe coding and everything you need to know about vibe coding, and why does vibe coding matters, and the vibe loop. You know, many people say vibe coding, but there is a loop where you go from prompt to the product to and until you deploy. So we'll talk about that, and which are the best tools to use when vibe coding. There's many tools you can use for vibe coding, and then how can you write good prompts. So good prompts matters because I think most of you have used, so far you have used ChatGPT and other tools like Cloud. So whatever you enter into Cloud or ChatGPT, that's the output you'll get from there. So usually say like garbage in, garbage out. And the real project walkthrough. How can you build your project? Like building a landing page step by step. So I'll take you on how to build a landing page in this video using AI. Common mistakes to avoid during vibe coding. So there's many mistakes people make during vibe coding, which I will talk about here, and how you will avoid it, so that you can't, you know, many people end up into frustration due to these mistakes which they could avoid at first. So, and then at the end, we'll talk about how you can get into this web coding and make something out of it. So, what's vibe coding? The introduction to vibe coding. So, vibe coding term came around with I think it was Andrej Kapati, who is OpenAI. He's an engineer, lead engineer in OpenAI, which is a company which runs ChatGPT and Codex. So Andrej Kapati, it was on 2025 when Andrej Kapati came with this term, because people were using cloud code, they were using ChatGPT, and they didn't know like what the hell they were doing, because you could just prompt AI and then it comes with a good fully fledged website, but there was no term to use for doing that, like coding the AI. So that's when they come up with this term vibe coding. So what's vibe coding? Vibe coding is building a software by describing what you want instead of writing every single code yourself. Unlike the past, we used just to code. If you are good at Python, you had to install some things, you had to know how to code, running functions, adding loops, like that. But now, as AI has advanced, and then new tools like Cloud Code, Hermes agents, Bolt, many tools. So for now you can just create a website in less than 2 minutes, even 5 minutes. So that's what we wanted to cover. What's vibe coding? So let's go in depth so that we can know vibe coding and how it started and what you can do with it. So vibe coding is just you describe what you want in plain language in any coding tool. The AI writes the code for you. You review the code and make sure like, is it is this what I wanted for myself? Like this website I'm building, is the landing page the same thing I wanted in my head, or is the prompt that I gave AI, was the AI followed the prompt, or it just go rogue and then created what it wanted? So number 3, you review and test and tweak with more prompts. So after the AI you have given the AI the prompt, and then it have coded for you, the next step is you just review, test, and tweak. Like you can just go, if you have built a landing page, you can go try to maneuver through the buttons, and you can see if there's errors, something like that. And then you ship it manually. You ship the code data without writing anything. Like, in a tool like anti-gravity, you have MCP tools for, I think, Firebase and Netlify. So you can just deploy your code by just by installing those MCP tools. It's just there. You just plug in. Just go to MCP tools, and then I'll show you how. In my next video, I'll talk about MCP, and you'll understand how you just tell AI, and then you just connect with it. It's just like giving AI access to your tools. If you can't do that, AI will tell you, it'll give you a step by step on how you can go create an account and then give it access like that. So don't worry about that. So basically, you are the product manager. AI is the dev team. Like, in big companies, or even a company which usually build software for clients, maybe for enterprise like ERPs. So you need to have a product manager. Product manager is the one who knows the I can say the cycle of the product till you meet the main products you anticipate for the client or the company which you are building the software for. So, and then, under the product manager, you need to have a dev team who looks about writing code. Dev team is just software engineers and web developers and programmers. But all these have been condensed into one thing. So you are the product manager, and AI is the whole dev team, like the software engineer, the programmer, the web developer, the cybersecurity analyst, something like that. So all of them, they have been given. They have take those roles, and then they have give one tool like ChatGPT or Cloud. So, for example, you just tell AI, make me a landing page with a sign up form, maybe with a blue theme and a hero and an image, and then AI just write the code for you. It can be on HTML, it can be it can be a simple website using HTML, or using any framework available for creating websites. And then where did vibe coding come from? I had earlier talked about where did it come from, but GitHub Copilot exploded in popularity. It was around was it 2025? 2022, when GitHub came up with GitHub came up with Copilot to help devs debug codes which they deploy to GitHub. So the devs realized how AI can autocomplete the whole functions. So that's where it started. In 2023, ChatGPT and Cloud arrived. Anyone can ask, write a Python script, and it just works. So people figure out if it can write a simple script. That was on 2023. So they figured out it can also write code. And in 2024, there was new tools like Casa. By that, it was I started using AI agents on 2024. That's when I had heard about the hypes around Casa, Bolt, and Lovable. So the first tool which I used was Bolt, and then I got familiar with it, and I moved to Casa. So Casa was somehow technical, but it was not a good, like it was not a great tool at that time, because it was just on, I think it was on beta, but it was a great tool for that time. I built some few websites with it, and then that's where I got the drive to use AI agents for coding, because I knew how to at that time I knew how to code like in Python and even JavaScript, but I was not that good. So when AI came, it amplified my capabilities, and I built many things with it. So in early 2025, it was just last year, when Andrej Kapati went on, it was on X, and coined the term like vibe coding. That's where everyone started talking about vibe coding, and then the internet went mad with it, and everyone was building tools. I think there was some games which was built at that time. 2024, if you go out and watch videos at that time, people were building games, even people monetized. There was a person who built, I think it was which game, and then it had something like it was just a game which you could drive. You could yeah, you could drive, I think, toys, and then he used to, I think, run ads on it. So many people capitalize on that wave of vibe coding. Now, like, million of non-developers are shipping real products, and the barrier to shipping has been, like, it has been narrow. I can say it has been lowered. So like, if you go on YouTube, even here at YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, people are marketing their websites, like their websites, their apps. Most of the people I've seen is the people are building like iOS apps, and most of them, it's been on fitness, it's been on I think look maxing. People have built like many products, like which they feel like there's a need out there. When you're building something, you're building a pain. I think it's a painkiller. Yeah, a person, you have seen a pain somewhere, and then you want to cure it, so you build a product for that. Or you have seen a problem somewhere, you want to give a solution for that thing. So that's where you can build a software for that, or a product for that. This has been a trend, and it has come with a shift on this. There is like many people have emerged through vibe coding. I can see like there have been many YouTubers who transited from I think the old ways, which they were, I think, doing videos, and then now they're doing about vibe coding. So this is not the only videos you can watch. You can go and then you can watch other videos about vibe coding. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was why does vibe coding matters? Why does the vibe coding matters? Like, vibe coding chases who can build software. Even you are seeing me like now, you can build your own software in like 1 or 2 minutes or 5 minutes. So that's has 10x the time of which you can just build the software. You build prototype in minutes. Like, people in the past, like, devs used to take even 5 or 6 months to come up with the prototype, and then MVP had to take even 7 to 8 months, so that it can maybe reach the market, and then people, like, there is no customers, you come and iterate on that, come up with another product. It used to take a lot of time, but now you can just ship that in less than 5 minutes, and then you get reviews about that product, on how you can upgrade, and then maybe update it, or make some tweaks just to give the customer what he or she wants. So anyone can build software. It doesn't matter like you have gone to school or you have not gone to school. Like anyone who has the capability just to talk to ChatGPT or cloud, you can build a software. And then ideas for the apps. Eh? Just focus on the vision, not the syntax. Many people come up with a lot of complex things. Do you what like something like an app for I think an app for calculating the art longitude at the same time, calculating the time, and that's a thing which is so complex. Just find a simple idea like a website just for uploading images, or a website for HTML games, or website for snake game, like just simple like that. Don't build complex things uh, just to end up with it like it has no value in the market. So, and then that's what you need to avoid. Ideas for the apps, you just go online. Like many men, I think, with women, let me say women, you can go online, you can see like women and some few boys and girls, they have come up with apps for look maxing. Look maxing is just men who want to look good. So they have come up with an app where you just scan your face and then you can see if you are handsome or not handsome. So those are some few apps which have come up, and then many people are capitalizing on this vibe coding. You need to make sure that you are not left behind, and then because we have some few years to come, and then AI will be doing what everyone can do. Like it will be just an agent doing everything in a simple prompt. So for now, just capitalize for now and until it's not too late. So before vibe coding, people had to learn about HTML, CSS, JS frameworks like Next.js, React. But now you don't need to write that. You just describe what you want in English, and then you get what you get what you wanted in your mind. House of Stack and Overflow searches. Like there's this website called Stock Overflow. So Stock Overflow was where the devs came up together, and then they could solve answers about issues they were experiencing. So what you do, AI handles the syntax and structures. You don't need to do the hard way. So bugs you can't explain. So at the end, people like before vibe coding, people used to fix bugs which they couldn't explain. Like bugs, there's some lint errors when you build apps on frameworks. There's some bugs which come up on the faces, like when you are building. So that's why I said at first, the prompt you give AI at first, what you need to do is look back and then iterate on that to get a better product before you move on to the next phase. So on the phases you'll get like bugs. Bugs are just simple errors which may be on your code, making it impossible for it to work. So if you get a bug, you just go to AI, tell it, I found a bug in, maybe you're building a landing page. In that button, just fix it. As you give it, it will just go to the code, fix, and then tell you to check on that. So it took months to build MVP, but in just an afternoon, you can just come up with a prototype where you can even get, if you're looking for, I think, if you're looking for investors, you can just show them the product which you have built. Who is vibe coding? So currently entrepreneurs like us, we are vibe coding. Currently, I'm building a chatbot for businesses. It's a great tool which I think launch and run ads for it. I will show. I think I will give out a demo for that. Designers. So recently there was a tool which came up from cloud. So the AI turns Figma mockups into real working UI. Like, I think it's cloud code. Cloud code. So now you have cloud design. We had cloud code just for that's technical, but you have cloud design which actually builds Figma designs for you on cloud. So cloud has, I think, thanks to Anthropic for coming up with this innovation, which has been great for us non designers and non technicals. So other people who are using are marketers for building landing pages and tool without the dev help. So researchers also are using it to automate data tasks, build dashboards, and then developers are shipping like softwares faster than ever. You know, I've told you like it used to take like even a year just to build a fully fledged product or an app, but now you can just build it in one afternoon or a day. So students are using it to ship projects and learn by doing. If you are a student, you can just use AI for building your tools and then deploying it onto the internet. And you can just use many free AI tools like anti-gravity. So there is a vibe loop. This I can call it the vibe loop. So the vibe loop is the workflow you see or you will use every day when you are building the website or the app you want. So the first thing is the idea, which I've told you, you don't need a complex idea. You just need a simple thing on your mind. Go to AI, tell it to brainstorm and give you the fully fledged idea. And then the next step is the prompt. You need to describe it clearly for the AI to answer and for the AI to understand what you want to build. And it's not a must for you to know how to prompt. You can just take your idea, give it to ChatGPT, and then tell it, ChatGPT, can you give me the prompt so I can use it to build the tool? And then the next thing, the AI will generate the code. After you give the AI the prompt, the AI will just take time and then generate the code for you. It can take something like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on if you had pre-configured the frameworks. It will just take like a few minutes. Like if you have not, it will tell you just to accept, do some things, and then at the end you'll get your code. So after it has given you what you you wanted, you need to review and see, does it work how you anticipated, or does it solve what you wanted? If it doesn't, you just come back and then you refine or tweak or fix and then to improve and get you what you want. Keep looping until it feels right, then you continue with using the tool. So the more specific your prompt, the better the output. So if your prompt is just messy, the AI will give you a messy thing. If it's something which is if it's something which is uh, clear, the AI will give you the clear and the best website or app which you have described. So loop step 2, which is the prompting. What's prompting? Think of AI as a very smart intern. It's brilliant but needs direction. The more context you give, the better the better it performs it. That's why I was saying garbage in, garbage out. Like giving AI a unstructured prompt or just a messy one, it will give you a messy thing which you didn't want. But if you give it a clean and clear prompt, you'll get the best website or app which you wanted. Obviously, you can't get that website on a single prompt. You need to tweak and then refine until you get the product. Always include what you are building, who is it for, the tech stack, what the first step should be. So it was a must to include all of this. What you can do, if you don't know what you are building, just go to AI like ChatGPT or Cloud. Tell it, I want to build an app for maybe a to-do app. And tell it just to give you a prompt, because you'll just describe what you want to build and who is it for, like what's the who like who uses your app. It can be a to-do app for developers, it can be to-do app for corporate workers, it can be a to-do app for students. So describe what your app or a website is for, who is it for, who are the users, yeah? Who will be using it. So you'll get the prompt for the tech stack. I've told you, just go and give ChatGPT or Cloud, and then it will give you the prompt with everything. Tech stack for the front end, it can be using React, or most apps using most apps use frameworks like Next.js. Those are web apps. Use frameworks like Next.js and React for the front end, and then back end, don't overcomplicate. Just use backend as a service from Supabase or Firebase or whatever the provider you want to use. But AI will give you everything you need. What first step should be? I think I'll link this information on the. I'll link this on the description, and then you'll download it from there. So you can just use this, and then you can comment there if you want the full prompt, full prompt engineering PDF, so you can use it when building tools. So let me give you an example. A weak prompt, it can be like, make a website. You're giving, so ChatGPT or Cloud, if you tell it like, not ChatGPT, Bolt or Anti-Gravity or which tool for coding, if you tell it, make me a website, it doesn't know which website do you want to build. It can be any website, So a strong prompt, example of strong prompt, it can be, build a personal portfolio website for a graphic designer using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Include a hero section, a name, a tagline, 3-column grid, a contact form. Use a clean dark theme with an orange accent. So as you can see, the first prompt doesn't have context. Context is what's the meaning of what's on the depth of what you are, like what's on the deep down side of what you are trying to build. As you can see here, the prompt has been fully explained, and it has enough context which AI can't struggle when building the website or the landing page. But at the first one, you're just saying make a website, so it will take a lot of time and effort for the AI to build for you. But if you just describe it on this one single prompt, you'll get what you want. More words is equals to more results. That's what I say. If you give AI just a short thing, a short prompt, the product which you'll get will be so bad, and then you can be frustrated by it, but you didn't give it enough wisdom on what you wanted to get. So the tools actually I use for coding are Cloud. Cloud's Anthropic AI, which is great for complex reasoning and long code bases. You have Cloud AI and Cloud Code. Cloud AI, you can just go for, just write on Chrome like Cloud AI, and then you'll get the Anthropic. sign up to it. It will tell you for emails and some few things. Casa is a local code. I can say Casa is AI. If most of you, I think you have seen VS Code, but if you are non-technical, VS Code is just an IDE. It's a place where it's a code editor, where you just enter your code and then if you are a developer like us, you just enter the code and then you execute from there to see what you are building. So Casa is an agentic code editor. What it means when I say an agentic or a pad code editor, it means like you just describe what you want, and then you get it. For VS Code, we used to have like you need to install extension. It had so many things, but something like Casa anti-gravity, they come up with it's just simple. It like when you download it to your computer or your laptop, it comes pre-configured for you. What you do is just tell AI what you want and then it codes. But this works on your PC. It doesn't work online. So something like bolt.new, you can use it on your browser, even on your phone. You just tell it, wow, this is the app I want to build, and then it codes for you. Lovable, which is it's also lives on your browser. You can just tell it's the same thing as bolt.new. I think most of you for now have heard about Lovable. Windsurf is the same as Casa, it's the same as anti-gravity. V0 by Vessel is just the same as bolt.new and Lovable. It works on the browser. Which tools for which job? So Cloud is the best when chatting through logic, writing script and explaining code. Chat first, that's the chat first, and then Casa is best for editing existing projects, working with your own files. Bolt.new is for spinning up full stack apps from scratch with zero setup. Lovable is best for React and SaaS products connecting to database. And then V0 is best for UI, components only, buttons, forms, and dashboards. So start with bolt.new or Cloud when you have a gentle learning. Then you'll have a gentle learning curve. Like bolt.new, just search bolt.new, go there, create account, and then just tell it anything. So that's where I think our lesson will end for now. And then for the next video, I'll continue from here, which is where we left, which tools for which job. The next lesson will start from writing good prompts. How can you write good prompts? That's where we'll talk about the next.